The Sach, Jugad Sach, Happy Sach, Nanak Hosi Pi Sach, Ek Oankar Satnam Karta Purkh Nirbhau Nirvair Akal Murਤ Ajuni Sapang Gur Prasad Jap Ad Sach, Jugad Sach, Happy Sach, Nanak Hosi Pi Sach. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. First of all, apologies that we've started late, as is the tradition every week, I've heard. So for that, maaf karna, that's mainly on me and the technical difficulties. But we're just going to try and get through as much as we can. And when we get towards the end and it's your time to go, feel free to go. Don't be obliged to stay here. When you've got to go, get up and go. No one's going to be offended. That's all fine. And it's the last week, this is the last week in this whole series of talks on Mahapurush, on Babe, on Gurmukhs, whose every breath was for Vaheguru. And it feels like I'm at a privileged position, the most privileged position, because there's no pressure on me. You've had over 15 weeks of people talking about different Mahapurush, over 15 weeks of people inspiring you, so there's no pressure on me. You guys should already be inspired. You guys should have already from this series taken something away and implemented it into your lives that has changed your lives or has improved your lives in some way. You should have already have something that can inspire you in a moment of darkness or a moment of sadness. You could think about a Sakhi, you could think about something. So I don't really have to do much. I could just vibe and chill, which is a great blessing as well. So that's what I'm just going to do. And also, a disclaimer, I put this talk together very, very quickly over today. And I was supposed to spend the last couple of days on it, but it's basically all today. I put everything on it today. It doesn't mean there's a lack of information. It just means it's been rushed. And so there's going to be no continuity. It's just going to be everywhere, kind of like the way my mind thinks. So no pressure. Here we go. So this talk today is on Singh Sahib Jathedar Baba Kirtan Singh and Singh Sahib Jathedar Baba Gajjan Singh. And once someone came to Mahapurush and they said, and they go, Appa Samagam Rakhiya, we've held these Samagams, we held these programs every Appa Bade Vade Samagam Rakhiya, we've done huge programs, Appa Langar, Vava Banai, we've made so much Langar, we've made different types of Langar, we called different Kirtani, we made huge banners, Appa TV te bhi advertised, te sara kuch kita, radio te bhi istihar, we've done so much. But Sangat, Jari Sadi, local Sangat, the program that we've done, the whole Samagam for the local Sangat, they stay the same. Oh, there's been no difference in them. Nothing's changed. And for years, we've spent so much money on these Samagams to do these programs, to do these Aprale. And still the Sangat the exact same. They do not learn. They continue to act and live as they always have before. And the Mahapurush laughed. He goes, oh, Pullya, oh, lost person. Do you think that different types of langar are going to change someone's life? Or adverts are going to change someone's life? Or posters are going to change someone's life? Or the fact that there's thousands of people here is going to change someone's life? No. He goes, the only thing that can change someone's life is someone's life. Sirf jeevan hi jeevan badal sakta hai. You can only change someone's life through your own jeevan. He goes, Bella aap jeevan banao, and then only then can you change other people's jeevans. So don't worry about the smoke and mirrors and all the illusions of big programs and all that. The main thing that matters, why we're here on this dunya, and the only thing that can really change us is the jeevan of somebody else. And that's what we're looking at over the last few weeks. And that's what we're going to be looking at now. And look to yourself. You don't have to raise your hands or anything like that. Think to yourself, over the last 14, 15 weeks, what has changed in my jeevan? And you guys are the people, the seekers, the Sikh, who are coming to the Gurukar, searching for your jeevans to be changed. You guys are here while everyone else is out there making money, doing other things, eating at a restaurant. You guys have come to the Gurukar to learn about different saints, searching for your jeevan to be changed. Reflect on yourself, reflect inwards, don't have to talk to no one. How much has your jeevan changed? What difference has been made? What have you taken away that will really be with you when you need it? And if you've got something, hold it tight. If you haven't, let the organisers know. let us know, and we know, and we've got to be honest with each other that if we failed, this is where we failed, and we've got to do something better, because we've got Jamawari on our shoulders to do something for the Sangat. So let Baba know at the end, like, we need to do this or we need to do that, so we can build together as a family. And the more we're honest with each other, the better and further and faster we can grow as a family. And also, I am going off side tangents, and I will do all the way through, so forgive me. Last week, I was in Sachkhand Sri Hajur Sahib. Hands up if you ever been to Sachkhand Sri Hajur Sahib. Blessed. I just want to do a side parting here. If you have not been to Sachkhand Sri Hajur Sahib, go. As soon as you can go. Trust me, I've just come back from there. I've spent a lot of time there, and each time it just gets more amazing. Each time it's more magnificent. I've never met anyone in my life who's come back from Sachkhand Sri Hajur Sahib and said, yeah, it was all right, TXC, it was all right. I've never seen that. Everyone who I've ever met that's come back from there has come back high, come back vibing, come back, yo, you've got to go. It's Maharaj is there, Guru Gobind Singh is there, and you will feel it. There's a picture of the Takht Sahib, and when we went there's a celebration of the Sera. I'm not going to go through the whole meaning of the celebration of the Sera. On the Basics of Sikh YouTube channel, in the Sun Saki series, there's a video, 10-15 minute video, which breaks down what the Sera is. And basically, I will break it down, but not too much. Watch that video for the whole history of it. But what the Sera is the Khalsa's ancient celebration and worship of arms and Shastar and Dharamjud. And during this time that was established by Guru Gobind Singh themselves, Maharaj, Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj started this Maryada themselves, that during these days, the Khalsa will get together, they'll read the Bani of Guru Granth Sahib, of Dasam Parchar, Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj. They'll clean the Shastar, and they'll sharpen the Shastar, and they'll practice battlefield tactics. They'll do Shastar Mahalle, they do horse riding, they'll do shooting, they do Shastar Vidya, they'll do all these things, and they'll get together and they'll read Bani. And when you go on the Sera, a lot of the Khalsa don't celebrate in the old ways, but at Sachkhand Sri Hajur Sahib and within the Nahang Singhs, they still celebrate the way that Guru Sahib celebrated. And one of the things they do at Sachkhand Sri Hajur Sahib is, you'll notice in Takht Sahib, Sachkhand Sri Hajur Sahib, in the middle, there's an Angita Sahib full of Shastar. And this is the satkar that Guruji had for Shastar. Guru Gobind Singh themselves, when they sat on the Takht Sahib, they had another Takht, another Manja Sahib set up with arms on there. And before they sat down on their own Takht Sahib, they do namaskar to the weapons, and then they'd sit down themselves. Guru Gobind Singh themselves said, Bina Shastar ke sangnarang pe jano. Like without Shastar, without case, think of yourselves as a goat or a bakri. Like jara mera Sikh hai, Shastar taran karke aave. Jab hamre darshan ko aavo, ban suchet tan Shastar sajavo. Kamar kasa karte ho dikhai, hamri khushi hove dikhai. Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj speaks to his Khalsa and says, when you come to have my darshan, and he's speaking direct to the Khalsa, he goes, bring your Shastar and have your kamar kase tied so I can see them. Fair meri khushi hogi that my children have come. And the Khalsa is the fifth child of Guru Gobind Singh, and Guru Gobind Singh references and writes this themselves in their Bani, that the Khalsa Panth is my fifth child. The first four being Baba Ajit Singh Ji, Baba Jujar Singh, Baba Zorawar Sahib, Baba Fateh Singh Ji. The fifth child of Guru Gobind Singh is the Khalsa Panth, and just like they wanted for their first four, they wanted for us also. And at Sachkhand Sri Hajur Sahib, one thing they do is they lay out all the Shastar, Guru Sahib Shastar are all laid out during this time, and all the Sikh get together, and you get to see them very much close up, and it is just a different vibe. It's just different. When you go there, you will feel so close to Guru Gobind Singh. You'll feel the power of Guru Sahib at this time, and all the Sant Mahapurush get together. And one of the things that happens there is a halla. It doesn't happen really anywhere else but at Sachkhand Sri Hajur Sahib. So on this day, one of the things that happens is they lay out all the Shastar, the read, or the Judamai Bani, and then all the Mahapurush Sants get together and they do a halla. And on this day, what happens is there's bogs of a part of Guru Gobind Singh's Bani. And I'm gonna just play a few videos so you can just get the vibe of the type of things that take place, just to take you there. So one of the first things that happens is within their own dals, within the little battalions, the Singhs have done their own, the Sampat and the Akhand parts, the Bhogs take place. And then what after that happens is each dal, so within this, we're talking about Baba Kirtan Singh and Baba Gajjan Singh. They're the two Mahapurush we're talking about. But we need to understand where they are from and what Sampradaya they are from. They are from Sri Misal Shahida Tarna Dal. Now, at the times of Guru Gobind Singh, there was a whole Khalsa army. Slightly after Guru Gobind Singh, as the Khalsa army became too numerous in number and too much to be controlled and be at one place, the forces got split up. And one of the forces that got made was the main force being Buddha-dal, the army of Baba Buddhaji. That got split into Buddha-dal and then Tarna-dal, the army of the youngers. Basically, it's not to do with age. Many people misappropriate and say it's to do with, oh, the Buddha are there, the Tarna, the youngsters. It's not that. It's due to the capabilities and the missions that they do. It's like having SWAT and SAS, Navy SEALs. They're split based on their jobs. And each of these missiles had their own Nishan Sahibs, had their own Jathedars, and the first Jathedar of Sri Misal Shahida Tarna Dal was Baba Deep Singh themselves. Baba Deep Singh, who was raised virtually by Guru Gobind Singh, who did so much seva that we'll look at during their lives. And each of these dals were given nishans by Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj themselves. So each of the, when we look and see videos and you see them coming in with their own flags, these were the nishan sahibs that were passed down to them by Guru Gobind Singh, or passed down or made by Buddha Dal, and little further regiments were made, and each of them come together at this time. So when each dal finishes their part, then all the regiments start coming together. And here's a video of some of the regiments coming together. So different regiments of 4 or 5 nishans come, and then 3 or 4 nishans come together, and nishans are just gathering. The different battalions all gather together, then they perform an ardas, then they make their way to the Takht Sahib, and with the Takht Sahib, they enter the Takht Sahib and take the nishans into the Takht Sahib, and nishans, the nishan sahibs. And then when they enter the Takht Sachkhand Sri Hajur Sahib, all the nishans gather, all the battalions. The Takht Sahib has his own nishan, Singh, the Singh who bears that nishan. And one thing that we don't really understand or fathom here, especially in the West, is what a nishan sahib is and what a nishan Singh is. We think nishan sahib, we think, yeah, it's a flag or a namaskar karna. But over there, they have a different level of respect for the nishan sahib. They will die for that nishan sahib at any moment. The nishan sahib is everything to him. Someone like me, without no kamai or no jivan, it can't even touch the nishan sahibs. These are the little battle standards flags, the Khalsa flags that they're all carrying there in these pictures. And there's a maryada to the way these nishan sahibs are even held. You know, sometimes you see people holding flags and stuff, and they lean them on their shoulders back. One thing you'll never see over there is them leaning the nishan sahibs on their shoulders backwards. That's seen as as one, disrespect, and two, a sign of defeat. They'll always hold the nishan sahib straight up. And you can't hold a nishan sahib without having a talwar as well. If you just grab the nishan sahib, you can't hold it without a talwar. And the set Singhs that are the nishan Singhs, that it's their job to hold the nishan. No one else can hold the nishan. It's those Singhs hold the nishan. Their whole lives evolve around holding that nishan wherever the Khalsa Panth move from one place to another or celebrate these festivals. And it's such a high honor. It's like the people who hold these nishans, they won't even drink a drop of water from outside or eat any from outside. Outside of the Guru Kar, outside the Guru Khalsa Langar, they won't have anything to eat or drink or nothing. They just, Jo Guru Kar milda ohi hai, Jo Guru Kar milda ohi kapre pani. They won't wear anything else but what is been ordained by Guru Sahib. And then they all gather, and at the Takht Sahib, the head Jathedar, Baba Kalwant Singh Sahib, they do an ardas, and then afterwards they leave the Takht Sahib for a mahalla. And then when they do a halla, they leave the Takht Sahib and they do a march all the way around singing shabads, and everyone celebrates it. And they get to one chowk, and here they do an ancient Khalsa battle charge. And what happens is all the Singhs, wherever they are, they all gather. So all the Hajuri Khalsa get together, all the Dal Panth get together, all the Nishanchis get together, and they all pull they all have Shastra. Like there, you won't see anyone without a shastra, especially the locals. Everyone, they might be wearing bent shirt, but everyone will have a talwar. They might be wearing bent shirt, but every single one of them is a full party in Guru Granth Sahib and Dasam Granth Sahib Bani. You know the way we recite Japji Sahib? We don't even have to think when we do Japji Sahib the part. We could do it automatically. Like we drive, we could do Soche Soch Na Hoye Je Sochi Lakwar Chuppe Chup Na Hoye Je La Ilaha Illallah. We don't even have to think. That's the way they recite the hardest Bani of Guru Gobind Singh. Like if they're reciting Zafarnama, they bam. Tumi Dastagiras Dharmadagan, Tumi Kar Sajas the Becharaga, Shahinjai Bakshin De Nivaj. They're not even thinking because they've just all day and night, this is all they do. They're not involved with anything else. All they care about is their Guru and their Guru's hukum. And so they all come with their shastra, especially on this day. On this day, you'll see more talwara than you see anywhere else in your life. You won't see as many talwara, as many swords as you'll see on the day of the Sera or when there's a mahalla. And when they get together at this chowk, they do an ardas. And at the end, as they're doing the ardas, the Singhs will pull out the talwara. They all pull out the talwara and they all hold them up in the air like that, as if they're about to do a battle charge. And when they're holding the talwara and they're doing that, they do ardas. And when they get to Nanak Naam Chardi Kala, Nanak Naam Chardi Kala Tere Pane Nal Halla, with your Pana, the Khalsa now is going to do a Halla, a battle charge. And they do a mock battle charge at this time. And if you've ever seen it, you're like, wow. Like namaskar, you touch the ground like, wow. This is where you feel the spirit of these people are ready to die, ready to fight at a drop of a hat, ready to go. And there's been circumstances where this has happened. This is live, Hannah. So I'll explain some circumstances afterwards. But there's been circumstances. Put it this way: at Hajur Sahib, no one's ever done Biadbi of Guru Granth Sahib. No one has ever dared to disrespect Guru Granth Sahib because they know what time it is. Punjab, if you look at Punjab, in the last 10 years alone, in the last week alone, there's been an incident of Biadbi where someone's gone into a Sachkhand of a Gurdwara Sahib and set the palang on fire and set Maharaj's Swaroop on fire. In the last few days, this has happened in Punjab. In Hajur Sahib, it would never happen. And the Singhs say, why it doesn't happen? Because we hold the Bani of Guru Gobind Singh close to us. We hold our Shastra close to us. And when you do this, you are tyar pratyar. And this is what they say on Dekho Sada record, Dekho. No one's ever done Biadbi here. No one's ever messed around here because we listen to the Guru and we follow the Guru's orders. Apa tyar pratyar and there always. It doesn't happen there. When it happened once in Nihang Singh's Dera, it happened as one reported case of Biadbi happening in a Nihang Singh Dera, and it happened during the Kisan Morcha in Delhi. Did you all see what happened to that person? Anu Tangata. He dared to do Biadbi of Guru Granth Sahib, and the Singhs hung him there. And this is the way the Panth do, whether you like it, whether you agree or whether you're not. Jabe ban lagyo, tabe rosh jagyo. This is what the meaning of Tyar Pratyar is. We don't disrespect anyone else's dharam. We don't look down upon anyone else's dharam, but we don't allow anyone to do that to us also. And they're there to protect everyone. And when they're there to protect everyone, they mean it. And this is just a small snippet of the Khalsa Halla. And to see it on video is like, but to be there and experience it, the smell, the sound, the vibes. And Sikh is all about vibes. You know, when you go to a talk, when you go to a Kirtan, when you go to the Guru Kar, it's all about vibes. It's all about sitting close to Guru, feeling that vibration. So this is just a small example of the Hajuri Halla. That was this year's 2025 Halla. And in that Halla ball, in that Khalsa battle charge, all the Nishan Sahibs run, all the little Nishans, the blue ones are the Dals, they all run. Even Maharaj's horses at such Kansari Hajur Sahib, they've got stables where they've got the descendants of Guru Gobind Singh's horses, so the horses descendants, and they are there on the Mahalla, and they let them go as well. So Singhs are running, horses are running, Nishan Sahibs are running, the Nagarjis running, people fall over. And when they fall over, no one can pick you up at this time. You get trampled, you get jumped over, people drop their talwara. I saw someone drop a pistol this time, and everyone just sprinting and running, and the vibe is just different. You pratak feel like, Maharaj, I'm ready. Jo tusi aakho mein na liya. And then you feel like sometimes we lose hope in each other, we lose hope. But there, just seeing this, just hope just grows. Just that hope, that vibes grow inside you. And I recorded one, a very small snippet, like of inside. I was there trying to capture it, but it doesn't do justice. But this is in the middle of it. I just caught a little snippet. And one thing that you'll also see there is, here, when you say Fateh to someone, you say, a lot of people now say, Why Khalsa, why Fateh, or why Khalsa, why Fateh. There you won't hear that. There, if they say Fateh because it's the Guru's Fateh, it's Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. They'll say the full Fateh. They won't do any halves when it comes to Sikhi or anything like that. And Gaj ke bol there. And someone who doesn't Gaj the Fateh, hoya ki tenu mar gaya tu? They're just straight up, and the way the horns like they give each other, it's just the I think probably the best place on earth. And I do a benti, go. And you'll love it. Just go, you'll love it. You go everywhere else, baki dunya aapa bhi dekhiya, but there's no place that compares to Sachkhand Sri Hajur Sahib. It is just a different vibe. And so there at Sachkhand Sri Hajur Sahib, all the dals get together at this time as well. And Misl Shida Tarna Dal also arrived there. The Mahapurush that we're going to talk about today, the past Mahapurush, they always used to arrive there. And now the current Mahapurush, that's the Singh Sahib Baba Joga Singh, they arrived there as well. But we're going to talk about now the Mahapurush that are before them. But the reason I put this up there is because I was there and I spoke to him. And I mentioned to Babaji, there's a talk, a seminar that takes place in England, which we Vak Mahapurush Ambare Bol there, and they want to talk. They've asked me to talk about the Mahapurush of Baba Bakala Sahib, of Mr. Shida Tarnadal. What shall I say? And they laughed. And they go, Adik. They looked at the poster first of all for a minute or two. They looked at the poster, and then they said, Adik. And they pointed out like that to all the Dal, all the Sangat. And they go, Sare Mahapurush ne diste. ਇਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰਸ਼ ਆ ਜਿੰਨੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਬੀਬੀਆਂ ਮਾਈਆਂ ਭਚੰਗੀ ਸਿੰਘ ਘੋੜ ਸਵਾਰ ਸਾਰੇ ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰਸ਼ ਆ talk about each and every single one of these. He looked at the post and he goes, ਸਾਡੀ ਮਾਤਾ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਫੋਟੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਾਈ. There's no pictures of our mothers or sisters. ਇਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਘੱਟ ਆ, ਇਹ ਵੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੂਝ ਕੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ. ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਾਖੀ ਵੀ ਦੱਸੋ. Go and tell them in England how the bibia do seva here. Go and tell them about their wives. Tell them about the little kids and the pachangis. Tell them about everything that you see. Tell them about your bhaktis. He goes, kuch vich nahi rakhna. Mara, changa, whatever you see here, go and say. He goes, don't worry about any repercussions. Whatever you see, go and tell them jo tu dista. And he goes, sare Mahapurushya. He goes, jada vi Guru da na lenda Mahapurushya. He goes, in this time of Kal Yuga, when things are so bad, any of these people who come here and give everything up to do seva, they're all Mahapurushas. Sare ande naale, or tell them about everyone. So today I'm going to try and do justice to those words. And I'm going to speak, I will speak on the Mahapurush that we've mentioned, but I also am going to try and talk about what we were told to by Babaji. And I just want to touch on some of the vibes. Because for me, Sikhi is all about vibes. And when the Dals travel from one place to another, they travel on horses, they travel on carts and stuff like this. And this is an old video, but it's of one of them traveling from one place to another. And the thing that's traveling has recorded it to itself. And just listening to itself, it just reminds me of olden days. Sometimes we forget the chals, the rhythms that Gurbani is written to. And when we hear them reciting this Bani, as they're traveling on horseback, as they're traveling on carts, it just hits different. Okay, I get it now. This is the chal of how a horse goes. Like Pujang Priyat Shand, we don't really reflect on it when we read our Nitnem, but that's Pujang, it's the rhythm of a snake. and all these different rhythms of Gurbani. They live them and they recite them and they sing them every night. And the thing is, for entertainment, you know what they do? They don't have TV. They don't. For entertainment, they sit together in the evenings and they sing shans of Gurbani. Someone will sing a shand, someone will sing a kafta, and this is the vibe. This is how they get together. And all the forge live together, and just the vibes that they have with each other, the integration, the relationships is just different level, and it's so funny. These guys are like undefeatable. One of the first times that I saw him when I was younger, there's a little kid, he had a big damalla, it was middle of summer, he had a jacket on, he had a hajuria on, everything that he could carry, he was basically wearing, I don't know why, but he was just like that, and he was sweating. And one of the things goes to him, oh, tenu garmi nahi lagdi, tenu top nahi lagdi. He turns to the outer, oh, top minnu lagdi, main top nu lagda. Is the sun affecting you? He goes, no, I'm affecting the sun. They have this mindset which is undefeatable. No matter what happens, Guru Gobind Singh said, everything, and they have this mindset. And I've seen it there. On the way there was a road that was blocked because of flooding, and everyone was stopping. When the Singhs came, they just did Chikare and just went straight through. No think twice, nothing. They just go straight through. Anything you ask them, they don't know how to say no. They're like, Kar dunge morcha, lab de jagar, and they do everything full force and everything. And this is a video of one of the Babbe. These are the type of vibes that they have, and it's so funny. They're so quick-witted as well. So I'll repeat what they said. Like, he's come and his damalla is very loose, and as he's come to say fateh to the Singhs, one of the Singhs goes, "Damalla tera tilla baraya," and it's tilla kidda, how's it loose? He goes, "Amrit vele da nere da ya." So I tied it when it's absolutely pitch black dark. Obviously they're not switching lights on and looking in mirrors. They don't have mirrors. One thing in the Khalsa Bola that they call a mirror is a jugal. What's jugal? It's what we all do when we're with our friends. We do juggaliyan. We talk about things. Say, dani say. And they call a mirror a juggal. Why? Because if you look in the mirror, what the mirror say to you, larni say, tara bhuttani say, ni theek, oh ni theek, motal. It says all these things to you, and they don't care. They don't listen to it. They say, anana chaladana. And what he said is, he goes, damalla nere da. This is damalla was tied when it was dark. And then he says, jinna nera, onna nera. He goes, however dark it is, that's how close you are. Like nera meaning close, and nera meaning dark. The darker it is, the closer you are, meaning the earlier you wake up at Amrit Vela when it's absolutely pitch black and no one else is there, that's as close as you are to Guru Sahib. And then he laughs. And it's just beautiful. And this thing, in fact, on this trip, I've seen him and he was complaining. He got late somewhere. And he goes, "Sare photo lai jante pagal ho ya duniya ajkal." He goes, back in the day, we were able to vibe and we could go where we wanted. Now it's take 10 steps and someone wants to take a photo. And we can't say no because agali di sharda. But he goes, "Apa dukhi hoye pe yahan." And it's just beautiful to their vibes and just to spend time. So this is the Bansavli, the Jathedari of Misl Shaheed Datar Nadal. The first Jathedar was Baba Deep Singh Ji Shaheed, who fought without their cease. And Baba Deep Singh Shaheed, the Meet Jathedar, the second in command, at that same time, Jathedar Baba Nod Singh also fought without their head and was shaheed at a place called Chabbe. That Gurdwara falls on Taran Sahib Road, and there's a Gurdwara at the side. So when you go into Taran Sahib Gurdwara, the Gurdwara with the huge, massive Sarovar, you'll pass this Gurdwara Chabbe, where Baba Nod Singh was shaheed. Baba Deep Singh made it all the way to Darbar Sahib and was shaheed there. And then the Jathedar Baba Gurbaksh Singh shaheed. Baba Gurbaksh Singh was shaheed in the Parkarma of Darbar Sahib. And in fact, behind Sri Akal Takht Sahib, there's a bunga made for Baba Gurbaksh Singh, and it says Shaheed Baba Gurbaksh Singh, and that's to commemorate their Shaheedi. Then these are all the rest of the Jathedars, and the Jathedar that we're going to speak on today, it was supposed to be Baba Kirtan Singh and mainly Baba Gajjan Singh, but due to time, we'll probably only touch on Baba Kirtan Singh, and then we'll just look at vibes and other things, and depend on you guys if you continue or stop. And around this time, I was there with the Singhs just last week. And one of the Singhs heard us talking to the other Singhs about this program. And afterwards he called me over. He goes, "Oi, I lagge." And I came, he goes, "Je main tenu bachan dassya tu jaake bolunga utthe? If I tell you something, will you go and tell the Sangat there?" And I go, "Hanji bolunga." And Pakka? And I go, "Hanji pakka bolunga, jo tusi kahonge main bolunga utthe jaake." And he goes, "Theek hai, dekh la apne nandair de tarti hai, we're on holy land right now. If you say something on holy land, if you say something in a Guru Kar, you have to do it. You can't go back on this. Especially for us, if we say something in a Guru Kar, in the Guru's Darbar, on these holy tirths, holy places, we have to do it." And he goes, "Theek hai." To wahan gal jaake kahi utthe. He goes, "Go and say this gal there. Jinne bhi baki babe aa, all the other Mahapurush, all the other babe," he goes, "आके साडे बाबे नूं आके मत्था टेकदे आ। उन्होंने दसदे साडा बाबा सब तो वड्डा आ ते बाकी जिन्ने भी बाबे होया आके साडे बाबे नूं मत्था टेकदे आ." Go and tell them that all the other babe, everybody else, they come and मत्था टेक to our Baba. And I was like, "Whoa, that might infuriate a few people who, like, nowadays there's people are team, they're in their teams. Like, I'm team Nahang Singh, I'm team Taksar, I'm team Rara Sahib." Everyone full hardcore for their teams. And he goes, "Tu aa gal jaake kahi kahunga, oi kahunga." I go, "Sat bachan kahunga." And it's fair dasi sada Baba kaun hai. And I go, "Sat bachan," he goes, "Sada Baba Guru Granth Sahib." सब तो वड्डा बाबा गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब आ, पहला बाबा आपा गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब ने मानना, बाकी सारे बाद विच आ. He goes, after every jathedar, everyone else comes after. All these Mahapurush Satkar jo gaya, but first is Guru Granth Sahib and Guru Nanak Dev Ji. No one else tops them. And when we look for Sikhi, when we look for inspiration, we look to Guru Sahib first. He goes, "Jinne bhi babbe or asal babbe, if they join you with Guru Granth Sahib, anyone that joins you with themselves, rehndo, join with Guruji mainly. Guruji for us is absolutely everything. Guruji is the King of Kings and most supreme." And when he said this, the Saki came to my mind. And we all know the most supreme Sikh in Sikh history is Baba Buddha Ji. From Baba Buddha Ji served from the times of Guru Nanak Dev Ji all the way to Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji, to Guru Angad Dev Ji, to Guru Amar Das Ji, Guru Ram Das Ji, Guru Arjan Dev Ji, Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji. Baba Buddha Ji did the Gurta Gaddi Tilak. He put the tilak on of the Gurta Gaddi. He performed that whole ceremony. He was known as Shromani Sikh from a young age. He stayed with Guru Nanak Dev Ji. He lived till over 100 years old. He took Vidya that was gifted by Guru Nanak Dev Ji to return back to Guru Nanak Dev Ji when they came in their sixth form, such as Shastra Vidya, other things. He did so much seva. He's known as Shromani Sikh. Out of their family line were different Sikhs, such as Bhai Panna Ji, Bhai Sarvan Ji, Bhai Chanda Ji, Bhai Jalal Ji, Baba Gurditta Ji, and Baba Ram Kaur Ji. This is Baba Ram Kaur Ji at the age of 3. The task of putting the Gurta Gaddi Tilak, passing the Gurta Gaddi ceremony, performing that whole ceremony, we put a nariyal, we put paise, and we make the Tilak and put it on the matha of the next Guru, was always performed by the family of Baba Buddha Ji. And Baba Buddha Ji's family was Baba Ram Kaur Ji, the young Mahapurush there in the pink, and they did the Gurta Gaddi Tilak on Guru Gobind Singh when Guru Gobind Singh was about 9 years old, and Baba Ram Kaur Ji was about 3. Baba Ram Kaur Ji was a Puran Mahapurush, full on Mahapurush, Brahmbete, one lean, one with Parmeshwar. There's no shock about it. Baba Guru Gobind Singh did much satkar. When Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj would sit and Baba Ram Kaur Ji would come, they'd come and say, "Sit close. Sit close." They wouldn't say anyone else, but they'd sit him always, and he'd often have the job to perform katha and tell sakya, because he'd seen so much and his family knew so much and he had so much knowledge of Sikhi. And one day Baba Ram Kaur Ji, and there's much Sangat joined with Baba Ram Kaur Ji. He brought many to the Guru Kar. And one day in Anandpur Sahib, Baba Ram Kaur Ji came to the Darbar, and loads of his Sangat came with him, and they all sat with him, and Baba Ram Kaur Ji sat and were doing similar, and Guru Gobind Singh saw them, and Guru Gobind Singh looked and called one of the forge close. And he said to the Singh, "We go take like 1,000 rupees, and 1,000 rupees is a lot in that time, a lot of money, is go and make Gra Prasad for 1,000 rupees. That is like, you see huge dolu, like huge karahiyan full, that you can fit a man inside. Those type of dolu, full of Gra Prasad. And Maharaj go tayar karke leke aao. Then they continued with the divan, and then the Gra Prasad was made in that huge dolu and brought and put aside. And then as the Ardas was performed, and towards the end of the Divan, Guru Gobind Singh gave a hukam. Whatever the Guru speaks is a hukam. And Maharaj said to the whole Khalsa, he goes, "Hun lutto Lutto Kara Prasad, go grab and loot the Kara Prasad, take as much Kara Prasad as you want, loot it, grab it, go now. And the whole Khalsa, Jakare Shatke, they went mad. They went flying for it, pushing each other out the way, grabbing Kara Prasad. They'd grab a handful, of someone would do a Jakara, someone would grab a handful and start putting it in the Kajana, someone would grab a handful like me, put it in their pockets. Even now, like, it's very, in Punjab, in India, you won't ever hear some, you know how loਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਦਤ ਪੈ ਗਈ ਵੀ ਸਵਾਇਆ. Over there, you'll never hear him say swaha. They do that, and they're big gappe khulle vartare, and they get so happy because this is the blessing of the Guru. This is our sacred. And here at this point, all the Khalsa, the Bibbiyan, the Maya, everyone are going, they're grabbing Kara Prasad, putting it in their cholia, in her Bibbiyan cholia, and they're putting it in their cholia, they'll take home to give to the kids and their families, and they're all pushing, they're going crazy, and all grabbing the Kara Prasad, pushing each other, like going mad. Baba Ram Kaur Ji didn't get up. Baba Ram Kaur Ji sat in Samadhi and koi fark nahi hai. They had no trishna for Kara Prasad, nothing. The Sangat with Baba Ram Kaur Ji, that were their followers and their Sangi also, they did not get up. They stayed and lean, they stayed humble. They were looking, they were watching. Inside they wanted the Kara Prasad, but they didn't get up because Baba Ram Kaur Ji didn't get up. So, you could sense that they want to go, but they didn't go, they didn't get up, they didn't grab it, and so they stayed sitting. The Kara Prasad finished. Everyone was talking about it. They shared it with their friends and family. Everyone got Kara Prasad, but Mahapurush Baba Ram Kaur Ji and his Sangat. The next day, when the Divan started, Guru Sahib Maharaj sat in the Divan. Baba Ram Kaur Ji came and sat, his Sangat came and sat, and all the rest of the Fauja came and sat, and they're all smiling, and they're all glowing because the Kara Prasad they've eaten, and the end, like. And Maharaj turned to the Sangat and go, "Tusi nahi hukam manya? Why didn't you listen to the bachan of the Guru? You call me your Guru, you matha take to me as your Guru, you did not listen to the bachan of the Guru. Instead, you in your hearts had the trishna to go and eat Kara Prasad, go and grab it. You watched everyone else eating it. But because your Mahapurush didn't get up, you guys didn't get up. Instead of following what the Guru said, you followed your Mahapurush, you followed your person." He goes, he's one with Parameshwar, he's one with Brahm. He has no itcha to breathe, has no itcha for Kara Prasad, has no itcha for anything. But because you followed him, you missed out on following the Guru's bachan. And because of you guys not following the Guru's bachan, now he will be cursed. And he says to Baba Ram Kaur Ji, now in your family, before in your family, Kal Yug has never entered. Everyone in your family has been Puran Brahm Gyanis. He goes, now Kal Yug will enter your home. And Baba Ram Kaur Ji puts his hands together and goes, this is Benti. He goes, Maharaj, you've said this from your lips. It cannot be taken back. What you say is gone, it happens. And we fully accept that. But Guru Sahib ek benti hai, don't let it happen while I'm around. Let me live my life, and when I pass, then let whatever happen. But while I'm here, bas tusi kirpa rakho. And Satguru Ji goes, theek hai. It will happen in the times of your grandchildren, that Kal Yug will enter, jealousy, irkha, nindya, all these things will take over in your house. The Brahm Gyanta will go, and you will basically be the last. And then that happened. It happened why? Because the Sangat of his did not follow the Guru's bachan. They followed what they thought the Mahapurush wanted them to do. So it's very important to us, no matter who we follow, how we follow Guru Sahib first. Guru Sahib number one, always for us. And anyone that we follow that would join us with the Guru, understand their bachan and how they are joining us. So that's just a quick sakhi of the importance of following the Khalsa, the importance of following the Guru and the Guru's bachan. And for us, Guru Granth Sahib, Guru Granth and Guru Khalsa Panth are one. The Khalsa Panth, we remember, were given the Gurta Gaddi before even Guru Granth Sahib was given the Gurta Gaddi. In the fort of Chamkaur, Guru Gobind Singh gave the Panj Sikh there his Shastra from his own seas. He gave him his own Khanda. He took his own Kalgiyaf and he gave it to the Khalsa. And he said, Khalsa mero roop ho khas, Khalsa mein ho karo nivas. The Khalsa is my home. And in the Khalsa I reside. Khalsa mera sajjan suras, Khalsa mera Satguru pura. The Khalsa is my best friend, the Khalsa is my Guru. So before the Gurta Gaddi was actually given to Guru Granth Sahib, it was also passed on to the Khalsa. And when the Khalsa are together, they can act and they can do things as the Guru Khalsa Panth. So it's always important to keep in mind these things. So going back, we're going to look at Misal Shahid Tarnadal, and we're going to look at the Jathadars. But we must understand that this is Nihang Singh Sampradaya, the Nihang Singh warriors, and they are the Akali Nihang Singh warriors, and these can trace their origins back to the times of the Guru. And Guru Gobind Singh is even referenced the word Shabad Nihang in Bani, in Chandi Diwar, because Toha Kripana Thikkya Badalahan Anga, Pella Dala Melandya Pir, Pya Nihanga, that the Nihangs are always first into battle when Guru Sahib di Kirpa Hondiya. And the Shabad Akali that you often hear Nihang Singhs use is Akali means immortal, and Akali is that person who's subject, who doesn't care about anyone or anything else but Paramatma Vaheguru. And the Shabad Nihang, there's a various different arth to it, and one of the main arth comes from a Persian word meaning crocodile. Another Shabad, another arth of Nihang means without hangta, without attachments, without greed for an attachment for anything. So as we go and look at the Misal Shahid Tarnadal, that's the Bansavali, that's how the Jathadari was passed on from Baba Deep Singh, and Baba Nod Singh was with them, then to Baba Gurbakh Singh, and it's passed on all the way now to the 16th Jathadar. But one thing you'll notice, they kept the Swaroop and they kept the Maryada of Guru Gobind Singh alive. So everything the way Guru Gobind Singh lived, with the horses, with the Shastra remaining Chakravarti, the Khalsa Panth, and Misal Shahid Tarnadal and Buddhadal, they kept that alive. They didn't change anything. They kept them there. They kept everything same for same. And if you look at the images of Pratan Singhs next to, new Singhs next to Pratan Singh, you could see that spirit is the same. They still keep the horses, the guns, the weapons. They still keep that spirit. And when you go in them and you live in them and amongst them, that bola, you can feel like when you go there, like you've passed through a time capsule and you're back in time. It feels like you're back in time. The way they speak, talk, communicate with Guru Gobind Singh all the time on a different level, and they preserve those traditions. And in the same way, they always eat in Loha. They still carry the Nishan Sahibs. And certain Maryada that we've lost, and we think, oh, what's the point in doing this? What's the point in having horses? What's the point in having Talwara? They remind us the reasons why. Like one thing that people make rola on here, especially in the West, in certain Maryada, in the Darbar especially, they say, oh, why do we have toof when we have a part? Oh, why do we have to have toof? Why do we have a jot? Oh, we don't need it. There's so many reasons for it. And going in the Dal, straight in front of your eyes, you sometimes see practical answers. And one of the things that they do is at night in the Dal, they take these jot, they take these dive, and they put it right in front of the Swaroop of Gurbani, and then they're reading by Diva light at night. They're reading the Shabads by Diva light. So if the power goes, it doesn't affect them. Anything goes, it doesn't affect them. And that's how they did it in the Brat and Sama, and that's how they continue to do it now in the Dals. They keep everything the same. They still travel by horseback, still eat out of iron, still clean with iron, with the Reta the same way. And just the vibes at Amrit Villa are just different as well. This is... This still at night, like they sit around fires and tell Sakya of the Gurus. They still connect with Guruji in that same way. So going forth, the first Jathadar of Misal Shahid Tarnadal was Amr Shahid Baba Deep Singh, who we mentioned was Shahid at Sri Darbar Sahib, and they were around 17, 18 years old when they took Amrit from the hands of the Panj Pyare in the presence of Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj at Sri Anandpur Sahib, and they spent their whole life with Guruji from that moment onwards. They wrote 4 Swaroops of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and they even wrote a Swaroop of Gurbani in Arabic. They wrote Swaroops of Dasam Bani, and they have their own personal Gutke Sahibs, which includes the Banis of Guru Gobind Singh, and they fought many battles. They joined Banda Singh Bahadur and the Tat Khalsa when they fought in Sirhind. They were there in the Shota Kalukara when there was a great genocide on the Sikh, and 10,000 Sikh were massacred and killed in one day. Baba Deep Singh was there fighting on the front line. Then Baba Deep Singh fought all the way through the Shota Kalukara. They fought against Ahmad Shah Abdali. They freed 300 women, Hindu, Sikh, Muslim women who were kidnapped by Ahmad Shah Abdali and were going to be taken away to be prostituted, to be abused, and they saved 300 Bibiyan and 100 young boys at that time as well. Their karname Beant, their seva is Beant as well. And when their time gave, they give Shahidi in the Prakarma of Sri Darbar Sahib with their cease, their head in the palm of their hand. And where they gave Shahidi in the Prakarma of Darbar Sahib, Sri Harmandir Sahib, I remember this when I was young. The first time I went to India when I was very young, in the early 90s, they had that. They had a hexagon marked out on the ground, and they had full, and they'd put full there every day. Now this hexagon that was on the ground in the Prakarma, it's not there. They've picked it up and moved it to the side. But I remember seeing it again as a child with my own eyes in the 90s. That was marked out. Anyone else see this? Oh, but there is a photo, so you know that this used to exist, and now the powers that be, they've moved it so people can just walk over around that area, and they just put like a photo of Baba Deep Singh at the side. But I remember from my childhood, with my own eyes, when my mum took me to the Darbar Sahib first time, that nishani where Baba Deep Singh laid their head was there. And that's why it's very important we talk about these things, we highlight these things, we show our children these things, because our children will ask us and they'll say, where did this happen? Where did Baba Deep Singh touch their head? Where did this happen? Where did they tie their horse? Where did all these things? And if we know our history, when we go with our children to these places, we can tell them. It's very important we read, and this is us, this is everything for us. So Baba Deep Singh was the first Jathedar. The Jathedar that we're going to talk about now is Baba Kirtan Singh. And I just want to talk about the first time I ever heard about Baba Kirtan Singh. And I could tell you it was 1998. And I was at Stratford Road, Gurmukhi camp, run by Gyani Sukha Singh Ji. And there's someone there by the name of Bhai Mahinder Singh, Gyani Mahinder Singh Ji Khalsa from Malaysia. And recently I went to Malaysia to do a camp, and they had a big posters of this person. And I was like, oh, that's Khalsa Ji, I know them. And they go, no way you can know them. I go, yeah, he used to come England and do camps. And they're like, oh my God, you met Khalsa Ji? He's like, yeah, he used to tell us stuff all the time. And sometimes we don't know who we meet on a basis. And Khalsa Ji, so basically one of the talks at the camp, my friends were being naughty, and I got blamed for their naughtiness, and we all got sent out, as you do at youngsters. And we got sent out, and we were sitting in the langar hall, and Khalsa Ji was sitting on a chair. They were quite old then, and we got told, go sit next to them. And we thought, oh man, we just sit next to the old guy. As I sit next to the old guy, just Gudrati, I said to him, Baba, who do you look up to? Who inspires you on your Sikhi journey? I was being kind of disrespectful and blunt, the guys here doing the talk, they don't inspire me, they annoy me. Who inspires you? And at that moment, Khalsa Ji's eyes welled up, they had water in their eyes. And they went quiet for a minute, and I thought, whoa, what's been said, what's happened? And then they go, Baba Kirtan Singh. He goes, Nihang Singh. And I was like, Nihang Singh? I love Nihang Singhs, I'm ready to listen. And then he goes, the first time he goes, he's seen them at Gurdwara Shahidi Bagh. Gurdwara Shahidi Bagh is a Gurdwara in Anandpur Sahib. And in fact, Gurdwara Shahidi Bagh is where this langar is here. And this langar is the same langar of Bhai Nandlal Ji. When Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj was in Anandpur Sahib, one of the days they did a test. There were so many langars set up, and they went to all of the langars to ask for langar. Guru Sahib went in disguise and asked at all these different places for langar, and everyone said, no, Haje Tayar nahi, nahi, Haje Tayar nahi. When they arrived at the langar of Bhai Nandlal Ji goes, straight away served Guruji. And then from that time, that langar got blessed, that this langar will continue forever. And Bhai Mahinder Singh Ji Khalsa said, he goes, I saw Baba Kirtan Singh there sitting on the tawa. So what that means is that not literally sitting on the tawa, but sitting on the tawa where they cook the prasad, they like that, sitting next to the tawa. And he goes, it had been hours. Khalsa just told, I literally had watched them for hours, and they were doing the prasad, and as they were doing the prasad, they did the task, the prasad, they did that, and when someone's really tired on their heads fall, and then they'd come up, and Sevadar came up to him and go, Baba Ji, tasi Ram kar lo thoda char. He goes, nahi, Ram nahi karna. I don't want to rest. Who knows if this moment will ever come again? This moment to serve prasad, this moment to do seva, I've got it now. Murke kalda nahi pata if I'll get it again. He goes, I'm not going to leave, I need to stay here and do this seva. And they stayed, and they were doing seva. And Khalsa Ji goes, I watched him, and he was telling us that tears were literally falling down his face. And he goes, I've never seen someone with that spirit doing seva. And then he goes, later when I saw Babaji rest, they rested on a bora. They had a little bora, they put it down on the floor at the side in the langar, and they just rested on that for a few moments, and then they got up and got back to doing the seva. He goes, when I saw that and I saw that commitment, and then I went and spoke to him, he goes, that was the biggest inspiration I ever have in my life. And when Khalsa told me, my Rome stood up and I was listening, I was like, wow, I need to find out more about these people. That's how you do seva. And they said, when you do seva, do it with absolutely everything you have. Kanjusi na karo. Don't be kanjus. You know how when sometimes people are kanjus, they don't. You give everything. When you serve the Guru, give everything that you have. And so Baba Kirtan Singh Ji, we're going to look at their lives now. Born in Gurdaspur, Pind, Kotali Lahar on the 23rd of November 1914. Their father's name was Veer Singh and their mata was Mata Kishan Kaur. And their name actually at birth was Sarvan Singh, and they got named Kirtan Singh later on in the Dal when they joined, when they took Amrit. So in the Dal, when you take Amrit, you're renamed again. You're given a name that now you've enrolled and you've been reborn and you've joined the Khalsa. You've taken a new birth, so you have a new name as well. And at the age of 5, they were sent to the next bend to go and have education and also start doing farming and stuff like that. And after school, what they'd do is they'd go to Kartarpur Pend, take a long walk there, and there was an Nihang Singh Gurdwara that belonged to Sheme Parchar, and there Baba Kirtan Singh at a young age would start to do seva, start to spend more time there, and slowly they'd spend more and more time there. At school they learned Urdu. Urdu was the main language at the time, and they learned Gurmukhi and Punjabi later on, and then much later on themselves, they even Hindi and even English. They could read and write English as well. And when they started staying at the Gurdwara, their mother would never say, come back and stay. Your mother would always encourage them. And at that Gurdwara was the Tarnatal Misal Shahida Singhs, and they'd always invite him. They taught him how to do seva, taught him how to live, and he started doing seva there, and he took Amrit around that time when he was about 10 years old. And when Mata Kishan Kaur would come to see her son, she'd see him doing seva, and sometimes she'd see him libra, so she'd go and bring a new kapri, she'd buy a kambal that, when he rests, because he wasn't coming home now, he was staying there for days on end to do seva. So she'd buy him kambal, she'd buy him chadar, she'd buy him a new chola, she'd buy him different things, panjiri to eat, loads of all different things. With mera potta vadiya rahe, mera potta khave, and he'd accept it with love, like thank his Mataji. As soon as Mataji left, he'd varta everything he had with all the rest of the things. He'd give everything on, keep nothing himself, give it to all the other Grib sect that were there, and keep nothing as soon as they left. As time passed, they left school and they started staying here full time. And one thing their Mata said to him was, "Je seva karni seva te simran chit la ke kar." Pura apna chit manata na dhyan la ke. She never said come back home or parai kar. She said, "Je seva te simran karni pura chit la." Give everything, put your whole heart into it. And then he did. When your mum gives you a shirwar at the back, then nothing can hold you back. Think of it, any time in our lives, our mum's given a pat on the back and said, "Jao, aa kaam karo." We've always gone with full force. And Mataji, this is the power a mother has. This is the power our mothers have. This is the power our sisters have. When you become mothers, when you become sisters, just give that shirwar to anyone, your children around you, and they will go forth and complete such great things. And all of these Mahapurush that we look at, and all of these saints and that we've been looking at the last couple of weeks, a special person in their lives is always their mother. Their mother is always one of bandagi, of kamai, and that's a very important why our mothers do that kamai, because they will push forth and create the next generation of saints, the next generation of warriors. Because nowadays what mothers do is, "Nahi, tu nahi jana ladai, tu pishar hai, oh aap hi kar lain, ki bhi karna, tu nahi jana, tu nahi jana." They hold their children back. "Oh, tu like apne kol rakh." Well, we should teach them, "No, go, to agge ho, sare to agge." Give that spirit to the children, and that's what Baba Kirtan Singh Ji's Mata did. And around that time, they learnt Sant of Guru Granth Sahib Ji and Dasam Granth Sahib Ji. Then at that same Gurdwara, as they grew of age in the young teens, they started to teach it there. And Baba Bishan Singh, that's Baba Bishan Singh, the Jathadar, who's Jathadar before Baba Kirtan Singh. So as Baba Kirtan Singh joined, Baba Bishan Singh was the Jathadar there. And you'll see Baba Thakur Singh of Damtimi Taksal coming and cutting their latan, doing their satkar. This is how great Baba Bishan Singh was. Like, they were loved and respected by all. Baba Bishan Singh made them head Granthi, and after about 2 years, Babaji called him and said to go to Baba Bakala Sahib. So Baba Bakala Sahib, we all know, and it's on our tongues this year, because Baba Bakala Sahib is the Gurdwara where Guru Tegh Bahadur Singh became Pargat to the dunya, where Makhan Shah Labana stood on the roof, say Guru Lad Dore, I found the true Guru. So that's the Gurdwara there. And Baba Kirtan Singh went there and served. After 2 or 3 years there, they sent them to another Gurdwara. And they'd send him to, after 2 or 3 years at the other Gurdwara, then they sent him into the Dal. They were sent him into the forge where the Nihang Singh stayed, Chakravarti, where they travel from one place to another, to another, to another. And one thing you'll notice here is they kept him at one place for 2 years, moved him on, kept him at another place for 2 years, moved him on, kept him at another place for 2 years, then moved him into the Dal. And one thing you'll notice, you never hear the word no from these people. Always 7 baje. Jo bhi tusi kehta 7 baje na pakarange, apan nabahange. You tell us to go here, we'll go here. You tell us to do this seva, we'll do this seva. Pura dhyan la ke. So then at this time, Baba Kirtan Singh ji at a young age became the Nishanchi in the Dal. Remember we spoke about earlier the Singhs who hold the Nishanchi. So he became the flag bearer of Misalchi, the Tarna Dal, holding the flags before them that were held by the Shahid Singhs and the other Gurmukhs and stuff. And as they also did that, they did the Granthi Seva in the Dal, they did Katha Seva, Langar Seva, served the horses and Singhs, and they served in the Dal for many number of years. And after serving in the Dal for quite a number of years, being the Nishanji, Baba Bishan Singh ordered them to come back to Baba Bakala Sahib and do seva here. And when they came back to Baba Bakala Sahib, there's a Gurdwara Parchar Shemi there, and they stayed there, and they had an asan on the edge of the Sarovar, so no room or anything. They'd sleep outside on the edge of the Sarovar, very simple, like very patyar. And there they did Katha of Suraj Prakash twice. So the full, to do Katha of Suraj Prakash once, it takes around 7 years. They did this twice. They also did the Katha of the whole of Guru Granth Sahib once, and they stayed here for about 17 years. And in that 17 years, they completed one Katha of the whole of Guru Granth Sahib, explaining the whole arth. They went through the whole of Sikh history twice and the whole of that. And while they were doing Katha and Langar di Seva, many times different Mahapurush and Sants would come, and many times Sant Guru Bachan Singh Ji Pandrawala would come, and they'd come and sit and listen to the Katha, and Baba Kirtan Singh would do the Katha, and Baba Guru Bachan Singh afterwards, later, would give him much Ashirvar and Vada, give him Maya and stuff as well. When Baba Bishan Singh, the Jathadar, before Baba Kirtan Singh would listen, after the Katha, they get so happy they'd give him a Rupaya. Like then it's seen as a big thing, ek rupaya deta. And Babaji would always take these, put them in his pocket, never spend them, just keep them, and later on put them in the golak. Whatever Guru gives, put back into the Guru's house, and idda vartai jande si. And when Baba Gurbachan Singh would come with the whole jatha, they'd always serve him langar pani. Jo bhi haga, je dahiyan, dahi varta dena, je shardaiyan ya shardaiyan varta dena. Whatever was made, they'd serve to the Singhs at that time. And so they served here for 17 years, and then this seva got moved to Sri Shahidi Bagh. Shahidi Bagh being the stan, remember where Baba Khalsa ji told us that he was falling asleep like that. So they moved here because the Singh there, Baba Gurmukhi Singh, who was the Jathadara at Gurdwara to Shahidi Bagh, they were getting old. They did Benti to Baba Bishan Singh. I need a Singh now to come to take over, and Baba Kirtan Singh was sent. And as Baba Kirtan Singh was sent, they took over, and everyone just fell in love with them. They had that sabah. You know, some people come and just everyone falls in love and vibes with them because the seva, everyone started to vibe with Baba Kirtan Singh and the seva. And Baba Gurmukhi Singh started to get old, and their time was approaching. As that time was approaching, Baba Son Singh Ji, Dal Baba Bidhi Chand, about 5 or 6 weeks ago, you had a talk on this Mahapurush also, and Baba Daya Singh, Baba Son Singh arrived here, and they sensed that Baba Gurmukhi Singh was about to pass, and so parted, and 3 Akhand parts were done of Guru Granth Sahib and one of Dasam, and on the last part, as it was finished, Baba Gurmukhi Singh Ji passed away, and then the dastar of the seva for Shahidi Bagh was then tied on the head of Baba Kirtan Singh. They were brought into the darbar, and they tied the dastar of the seva of the Jathadari of that astan on Baba Kirtan Singh Ji's head, and then from that day forward, they did the darbar seva, langar seva, farming seva, looking after the animals, looking after the gawan, looking after the different majja, doing katha, doing everything, looking after the sangha, looking after the and everyone just fell in love with them. The darbars would be packed on the daily. And Shahidi Bagh started to grow, and the Sangat started to grow there. And what happened is the more dals started to come there, and every dal that came there, every different army that came there, if Buddha dal came there, then Shidi Bag and Baba Kirtan Singh would provide them all the rasta and pasta. So say like that, 100, 200 people turn up with 200-300 horses, with trucks, with everything. Babaji would feed them, would provide them with all the hay, places to stay, kambols, rajaya, the stara, the male. So the kharcha started to become a lot, and because more money was coming in, they were everything that came in, they spent on all the Singhs as well. And they served the Singhs with no end. Baba Bishan Singh started to get older, and Baba Kirtan Singh said to him, as Baba Bishan Singh started to get older, they said to Baba Kirtan Singh, "We hun Baba Bakala var vityan de." Baba Bakala is the headquarters of Misal Shida Tarnadal, and he's saying to him indirectly, now keep an eye on Baba Bakala, because you're going to have to look after this as well. Within Bachchan, they're saying different things about the future of what's going to happen, basically. And then what happened was, at this time, Baba Kirtan Singh then even called and said to Baba Bishan Singh, "Minnu Singh bhejo fir. Send me a Singh that can do seva." And the whole dal were there at the time, and Baba Bishan Singh goes, "Dekla, have a look at all the Singhs, choose whichever Singh you want." And Baba Kirtan Singh saw a Singh that was the Nagarji of the dal. Two very important positions. One is the Nishanchi, and one is the Nagarji, the one who plays the batter drum. And they saw Baba Makhan Singh, and they go, Baba ji no page to Sadeval. So Baba Makhan Singh, who's doing the Nagarji seva, they then ended up staying at Shahidi Bagh. But when Baba Kirtan Singh said this to Baba Bishan Singh, Baba Bishan Singh said to him, "Tu hun tat sade dil nu hath pa liya. Now you've reached into our heart and you're grabbing hold of our heart. Baba Makhan Singh is so beloved to us, and you're choosing him to stay with you. But now, because I asked and I said to you, choose anyone, I can't say no, so you could take him. But in the future, also remember, he will be the Jathadar. In the times to come, he will be a Jathadar also." And as the way life played out, after Baba Kirtan Singh, Baba Makhan Singh becomes the Jathadar of Mr. Shida Tarnadal. So as Baba Kirtan Singh, as Baba Bishan Singh starts to gain older, Baba Kirtan Singh starts to take in over all the seva. Baba Gajjan Singh, who was the Jathadar after Baba Makhan Singh, is also on the scene at this time as a youngster, and he serves Baba Bishan Singh from his childhood through his whole life. There and Sant Gurudev Singh, who's also in the image they're around at this time, and they're still around today doing seva, and they're the head of Shahidi Bagh. If you go to Anandpur Sahib right now, they're the head there at this moment, and together as brothers they all served the Panth. There's no irka, no fighting, moving each other aside out of char to do as much seva of each other as possible with pure love and pure vibes. As time was coming over, Baba Bishan Singh was getting older, they called all the Mukhi Singhs close, and they told them different bachans about what's to be done, what's to be built, what sevas to be done, who's to do what Jimmewari. And as they're giving all these different bachans out, they go into Samadhi, they close their eyes and they sit there and they just go into Samadhi. And they go into Samadhi for a few hours, over 8 or 9 hours they're in Samadhi. And all the Singhs do not disturb them, they just stay standing at the side. And as when Babaji opens their eyes, then they all say Fateh, and then Babaji says to him, the next Jathadar is going to be Baba Kirtan Singh. The way you've supported me, make sure you support them. And then they passed, and then they left, and the city shouted Tasiyado. And then from that time on, the Baba Kirtan Singh became the Jathadar, and all the other Dal Nihang Singh leaders came, all the other Taksala, all the other Jathabandiya came under the star. Baba Santa Singh Ji was there, Baba Daya Singh of Sur Singh were there, many other Jathadars of Nanak Dal, and all came together. And they all done that. Baba Bishan Singh, just for your information, stayed the Jathadar of Mr. Shahida Tarnadal for 60 years. For 60 years, din raat ek karke they served the Panth as Jathadar. Baba Kirtan Singh stayed the Jathadar for 7 years. After 7 years, and then the Nishanchi that they mentioned that come to Shahidi Bagh, Baba Makhan Singh, they stayed the Jathadar for 15 years. And then Baba Gajjan Singh, who was the youngster during that time of Baba Bishan Singh, he stayed the Jathadar for 7 years. And then after that, now the current Jathadar, Baba Joka Singh, he's been the Jathadar for 2 years. And this is the line going back all the way to Baba Deep Singh, Baba Nod Singh, Baba Gurbaksh Singh. So they've kept that straight Pranali direct from the times of Baba Deep Singh, from the times of Guru Sahib, and this is the Jathadars. And Maharaj the Kirpa Hoy, I've had darshan of 4 or 5 of these Jathadars in real life. And so Baba Kirtan Singh's Pyar brought many people together. Baba Gajjan Singh, as a young age, now served as Gaurianda Jathedar, second in command, and they did much seva around this area, and they looked after everyone. One time when they went to Hajur Sahib, there's loads of Sakya, but I'm not going to tell loads due to time. I will try and finish in the next half an hour, so maaf karna. Due to time. But one of the things, when they went to Hajur Sahib once, the two wrestlers came before and they were wrestling, they were beating everyone, and they had a lot of bump and ego that we're the best. And Baba Kirtan Singh called them close. He gave them a naam, he gave them money, like, shabash, you're doing good. But you've got the taqat on the outside, underli taqat vi vadao, saying naam simran vadao. And they go, budya tu ki bolda, they spoke disrespectfully. Then Baba Kirtan Singh ji put their foot down, stamped their foot down, and he goes, if you've got any might in your pair chakko. And it's an old Buddha like this at the time. And these wrestlers, they tried to pick Babaji's foot off the ground, tried to single leg it, tried to lift it, they couldn't lift it. After 40-50 minutes of trying, the pisi murko murki ho gaya, then they did namaskar, they merte Baba maan gaye. Tusi hor shakti. And then Babaji said, explained to him, this Shabad Sukhi base maskiniya apne var tale, vade vade ahankariya nanak garab gale, and told him the Sakhi behind this. This Pankti comes in Sukhmani Sahib, and this is actually written about a wrestler who had a great ego, who thought he could be undefeated and all of this, but he got defeated by the Nimrata of a Gursikh. We'll look at that Shabad and Sakhi another time, but just due to time. And there's one beautiful thing that Baba Kirtan Singh ji did. This is a video of him. There was a mosque a masjid made by Guru Sheve Parchar, Guru Hargobind Sahib, and Baba Kirtan Singh looked after that mosque. Still to this day, Mr. Shida Tarnada look after the mosque. Even though people have said turn it into Gurdwara, do this, do that, they've done smargams and programs but they refuse to turn it into a Gurdwara. They say our Guru made it a mosque, we will keep it as a mosque, we will preserve it as a mosque, and we will look after and caretake it. It's under our name, but whoever wants to come and do the namaz and pray here, we will look after them, we will do langar here, we will feed everyone from here, but we will keep it as it is. And this is a short video of them talking about that and showing that.
Having found a mosque associated with a Sikh Guru, I began to look for historical documents that establish this association. I found the Gurbilas Chevi Parchar, a biography of Guru Hargobind written by Bhai Singh in the early 18th century. The narrative describes in detail the founding of the town after the second battle between the Mughal forces and the army of Guru Hargobind. In situations where differences create conflict, we find participation helps to ease the situation. At Guru Ki Masjid, in the course of a dialogue between Baba Kirtan Singh and the Punjab Waqf Board, a common space seems to have emerged.
Basically just saying that we're not going to turn this into Gurdwara, even though there's pressure. Just as our Guru made, we're going to preserve that Maryada. We do not add to anything that the Guru made, we preserve it as it is. And one thing that had a lot of love with different Jathabandiya, and especially Baba Thakra Singh Ji of Damdami Taksad had a lot of love for him. And the Nihang Singhs at this time had very strict babek. They don't eat from out, they don't even eat from langar from another Gurdwara. Only what they make, they eat. And one day Baba Kirtan Singh, and one thing, Baba Thakra Singh would always come and meet them and always sit them at the Sarana, always greet them with respect and love. And one day Baba Thakra Singh made prashada for him. Like they made prashada with such love, prepared it and said, I want to feed my older brother today. And Baba Kirtan Singh that day, Kudrati, in the morning, they didn't eat no longer. They were at Shahidi Bagh, they didn't eat. And what happened was, Baba Thakra Singh Ji came that day with the prashada. And as he came, Baba Kirtan Singh Ji moved to the side down there where they were sitting. And I go, oh, Prahaji, betto. Like, come sit, what have you bought? Let's eat, let's break bread together. And then they started to eat Papani Prashada together. And all the Nihang Singhs, Baba Gajjan Singh, all the other Singhs got a bit vexed. They said to Baba Kirtan Singh, we're not even allowed to have a drop of water from outside, and now they've bought Prashada from another place, how it's been prepared, but we're not allowed to drink it. You're ahead, how did you have it? No, Babaji. One thing with Nihang is they'll turn on. if anyone's things wrong, or they see anything, they would turn. Even on the Jathadars, they turned and Siddhe ho gaya Baba Kirtan Singh. Ah kidda ho gaya? And then Baba Kirtan Singh then explained, Sada Prabh ne banaya. My little brother came, he made prashad there. He got Ba prem nahi torna, name pa ma tor liye. We might break our name, but we will never break the love of a Gursikh. And a Gursikh's made it, he goes, oh, eat this prashad with love. Baad vich tusi ardas kar lo. But hon ta prem di gale hon apa shakan lag gaya. And they ate that because pyar to them was everything and most important. And this was always told to this Sakhi was always told to me by Singhs of Damdami Taksal. And last year we were at Hajur Sahib. No, we were at Sri Anandapur Sahib. There was a few Singhs. The Singh by Jatinder Singh who did the talk, and Baba Daya Singh, they were there. There were a few other Singhs there. And there Baba Joga Singh told us this Sakhi about prem being the number one thing. Which to jod everyone together, prem is absolutely vital and everything. And Baba Kirtan Singh had mad prem for people. Doesn't matter how they looked or anything like that. Like this guy, him, he used to be a Mona, full on Shrabi. And Baba Kirtan, look, he'll tell his Sakhi now how Baba Kirtan Singh called him and gave him Amrit. And this is recorded.
ਤੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਬੈਠੇ ਦੇ ਗੱਦੇ ਪੰਗੇ ਦੇ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵੇਖਿਆ ਚਾਦਰ ਪੱਤੀ ਜਾਣ ਦਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਭਲਵਾਨ ਨੂੰ ਫੜ ਕੇ ਲਿਆਓ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਬਾਬੇ ਕੋ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਕ ਓਏ ਮੈਂ ਚਲੋ ਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਗੱਲ ਸੁਣੋ ਮੈਂ WhyGuru ਨੂੰ ਲਾ ਦੇਣਾ ਹੋਰ ਮੈਂ ਆ ਬੀੜਾ ਬੜਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰੀ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਨਸ਼ੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰੀ ਕੀਤੇ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਬਾਬੇ ਹਰੀ ਸਿੰਘ ਬਾਬੇ ਨੂੰ ਆਂਦੇ ਵੀ ਜਾ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਤਿਆਰ ਕਰ ਬਾਬਾ ਹਰੀ ਸਿੰਘ ਆਂਦੇ ਵੀ ਇਹਦਾ ਸਿਰ ਵੀ ਮੁੰਨਿਆ ਨਾ ਇਹਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਨਾ ਥੱਲੇ ਕੋਤੇ ਨੂੰ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਸਿਖਾਉਣਾ ਬਾਬਾ ਦਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਪਤਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਬਲਾ ਖਲੀ ਸਿੰਘ ਆਏ ਤੂੰ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਕਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਕਾ ਕੇ ਤੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਕੰਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਤੇ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦਾ ਕਿਧਰੇ ਬੜੇ ਟਰੱਕ
So he's just saying that I was a Mona, I was a Shrabi, but Baba Kirtan Singh saw me walk, he goes, Amrit Shak, Bachana Nali Sek Banata. And he goes, no, since then, he goes, go Antinu, my life has been just amazing because that love. Because I fark nahi paya kisi naal. And I see myself in the dal, when Mone come, anyone come, koi fark nahi penda, aao praji betho. So this, everyone is treated with just so much love. And one thing that was in Hajur Sahib at this time, he said, one thing here in the dal, he goes, there's a space for everyone. There's a space. If someone's a soldier, militant, there's a space for them. If someone's a Bhagat Mastana, if someone's a Bhatti, if someone's a Lakhari, if someone's a Sevadar, everyone has a home in the Guru's house. And he goes, just seeing everyone of all these different characters vibe together is different. And he goes, the mad thing is the love. The love and the vibe stands out more than anything. Because of kisana ear khanikada, anything like that, it's just pure love.
ਜੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਗੱਜਨ ਤੋਂ ਆ ਜਾਓ ਉਹ ਸਰਦਾਰ ਹੀ ਸਮਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਹੀ ਉਹ ਬਾਬਾ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਥੋੜਾ ਬੁਣੇ ਪਏ ਉਹ ਨਾ ਆਇਓ
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਆਗੇ ਥੋੜਾ ਚਰਚ ਕਰ ਦੂਗੇ ਪੱਕਾ ਤੂੰ ਚਿੰਤਾ ਨਾ ਕਰ
ਉਹ ਆਏ ਆ ਹੁਣੇ ਆ ਜਾਣਾ ਆਪਾਂ
ਆਗੇ 2 ਮਿੰਟ ਜਾ ਆਗੇ ਪੱਕਾ ਆਗੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਪੱਕਾ ਮੰਨ ਜਾ
So that was him just further explaining like how he stayed with all the Mahapurush. And I kept that bit in to show you what the kids of the Dal are like. The kids of the Dal look at everyone as their big brother and father. And he this little Singh knows me from before, knows from England. And he goes, Baba, what did he want? What do kids want? They want sweets, they want this, they want that, they want games, they want phone. What he wanted was a chantora. He goes, Chantora bane pe mainu leke de de main sajawa. And then we brought him and he's walking out the Kim Chantora theek hai. Like for the next few days, theek hai. Like he's shout to everyone. Like it's we say next to old Baba, oh Baba, you mera Chantora banya. And then he's not even said anything to him, like asked, but they have that shauq for these things, these shastra. And remember, these kids that grow up in the Dal, a lot of them don't have mothers and fathers, a lot of them are orphans, a lot of them have been left, a lot of them, some of the things, I've got interviews of, I'm talking to him, I go, Teri umar ki hai? And he goes, Pata hi nahi mainu. They don't even know how old they are. They've had no one to ever care for them. I came home and I was looking at my kids, and I was thinking, my kids were eating cereal. I goes, these kids in the Dal, they'll never taste cereal. They will never experience so many things. And what do they do day and night? Sevai karte hai. And they love it. Life for them is just the best. Hanji? There's some parents who are Nahang Singhs or Pendus that want their child to be raised in the dal. There are some who just end up orphaned and left, and then the dal just take them on. There's one Singh, his name's Logriya, and I tell this story just because it's such a beautiful story, and he's very old. And when I was staying in the dal, one day I was sleeping here. Baba Joga Singh, who's the Jathadar of the dal now, is sleeping here, and Logriya was sleeping here, and he's a very old man, slightly grumpy, and he's at night, he's there, and before he went to sleep at night, Baba ji gappe liaye, should we bring you prashada? There's not hor kuch likhya hi nahi mere vaste. There's nothing else written for me to eat, and we thought what him Baba Marda. And then he started telling us loads of different things. He goes, watch out for these type of people, and he started giving a little bit, like, someone goes in depth. He goes, listen, let me tell you something. He's like that, very, very strict, telling us loads of stuff. I go, Baba, I swear, like, we were tired as well. It was in the middle of the mahalla. And then we went to sleep around like 11:50, 11:55. His horse started hankering, started making loads of noises. That horses do, like really, really. Baba Joga Singh got up and like took the house brick and calmed the horse down. And then went to sleep. Around 2, when it's time for us to get up, we got up, and Babaji was up yet. And then went to Hadishnan, came back, and we saw Babaji still not up. Huh? And then Baba Joga Singh goes, Babaji, utho Mahapurusho. He pulled the kumbal back. And when he pulled the kumbal back under the moonlight, we could see that his face had turned white. His eyes were open. His face had turned white. And they'd left their city that night. And it must have happened when the horses in the horses in the dal are known as Jan by life brothers. Even before you get on the horse, they'll touch the feet of the horse and touch it to their matha. People who don't matha take to anyone who touch no one's gudda, they'll touch the gudda of the horses. It pulled that back, and his skin was all white. And this is the first interaction, like real, raw interaction that I've had with the city like that. So I went to touch the face, his ice, like cold and stuff in it, yeah. And then Baba Joga Singh covered it back up because Nitnem kat liye, let's just do our Nitnem, do everything else, do all our duties, do their langar seva, that they had the duty. And then they told the Jathadars. And then as sun started to come up around 6, they came back, and then they pulled the Baba Gajjan Singh was the Jathadar at this time. He came back, he pulled the kumbal because, oh, kyun vi Logriya chal gaya hona, saath chhad gaya. They were talking to him like this. And I was like, wow, like, it's the first time I saw these type of interaction. Even with little Pachangi Singhs that you see like that during the dal, they were coming up and they were holding on his hand. It's a Sri at this point, there's no spirit or soul inside it. They're holding his hand, oh Baba ji chal gaye. And then Baba Gajjan Singh goes, Shnan Pan kar do, like first empty his pockets and all that, and the dekho ki haga, let's try and phone his family. Went through his wallet, opened his wallet, and he had 5,100 rupees, which is the exact amount it cost to do a part, 5,100 rupees in the dal. So he had that money set aside. That's for his part of his borg. That no one pays for this, he pays for it. They went through his pockets, and then the Singhs were saying, he had like a parvar the member no phone karo, and they couldn't think of any of his. They had no contact, and then there was a Nakiya. They didn't know his name. He lived his whole life in the dal, and they didn't know his name. They all called him Logriya because when he was a kid, he was an orphan. He was found at that Logar Killa, and then since from then Logriya was his name, the iron one, the one from the iron fort. And then Pradhan, one of the Singhs, said to me, with a damala sajade hun, open his damala and retie it, do his ganga, ties the mala, then we'll take him up there by the Bambi and all that shnan pan karte hai. And I theek hai. So I lifted his head a bit to tie his damala, and I lifted his head a bit, and he just slid off the manja. Because I was like, huh? Why is his neck bending? Because I didn't know this. I've never had that experience where rigor mortis has already set in, the body had already stiffened up within a matter of hours, and he slid off the manja. Then they all started laughing. I was seva nahi kiti age. I've never done hardly any seva. And they pulled him back up, and it was lak tordo. And then it's straight like this, and they would just crack the back, and it cracked like that. And then he's literally sitting up like that, proper erect. Yeah. And then this one of the Singh closes his eyes, and the comb is case, the tie is the mala, the nalkar, and then everyone's reading Shabad's tie is the mala. And then he's there, then they go crack it back, and then they crack it back like that. And then they all carry him to where the water is, and then they give him Ishnan. All the things, all the little Pachangi things are giving him Ishnan. And one of the little things that is giving him Ishnan, they're changing his bust, they're putting his neutral. One of the little things, it must have been like 6, 7, 8 years old. Like, that's hard to tell because some kids are older, but they're malnourished, so they're quite small. And one of the little Pachangi goes, "Oh, Baba," England, he goes, "Let's come here." No, Hanji, he goes, "Main tar das kar, mere naal bhi idda hi hoye." He said, "I'm doing ardas, I'm doing a plea in front of Guru Granth Sahib, mere naal bhi idda hi hoye." And I go, like, I'm kind of a bit scared still. Like, and dekho, sari jindagi, his whole life, panth de vich nabaiya. Every day he's got to spend in the panth. Every day he's spent doing seva of the kore, of the langar, of the sekh, of the sangat. Sari umar bani parda. Mere naal idda ho jaye to bahut chardi kala nahi honi. I was like, wow, Tanya, these little youngsters at such a small age, they think in such a high way. And then they did the sanskar, they gave him the digga pani sara, and then they did the antam sanskar, and it's just beautiful. One of the most beautiful funerals I've ever seen ever, where they're doing the sanskar and all the things are there just doing jakaria and stuff, and the love, not a tear was shed by anyone at that time. And that little Pachangi who said those Galna, who himself took part in changing Baba's Kshira, doing all these things, I thought these guys are next level. The same Pachangi's days earlier, when it was time to have Ishnan, and we're all there having Ishnan, and it's cold, they said to, "Oh, Baba, Kshira to de thand lagdi hai, appa bacche aao," and they're being cheeky like that to make me wash their clothes and all that. And then the Logre was shouting, then he goes, "Enanda kosh nahi karna." If you start washing their clothes, if you start doing all this, they're going to come soft and they're going to expect everyone to do everything for them. No, here everyone holds their own. Here everyone takes part. Here everyone does seva. Give them Jummavariya, give them seva. Then they will grow and then they will love the panth, to give to the panth, not ever take away from the panth. And it's just one of these experiences that took place there. And I was just like, wow. And then Baba Joga Singh was there, and he's like, these things happen every day. And the Singh said to me last year at Hola Mahalla, you get more stories in one day at the Dal, one day living with the Nahang Singhs, than you get 2 years living in UK, going to all these camps and everything, living normal life. He goes, every day something is happening. And sometimes things happen and I just choose never to speak of them again because people won't believe. So going on with this, Baba Kirtan Singh then becomes the Jathadar, and there are loads of stories to tell, but I'm going to cut it down. Baba Kirtan Singh slowly starts to age, and then Baba Makhan Singh becomes the Jathadar. And when Baba Kirtan Singh gets older, they say to Baba Makhan Singh, they say to all the Singhs, they say to Baba Gurdev Singh, they say to Baba Gajjan Singh, we want Aglahan Jathadar, Baba Makhan Singh, and they take the Jathadari. And Baba Gajjan Singh themselves has a deep history, especially in the 80s, where they're very active on certain missions and come. They have a whole history before they even. That's often very not much told because they keep it gupped, basically. And one beautiful thing is, during the times of Baba Kirtan Singh, Baba Joga Singh, who's the current Jathadar, that's their image there now. That's their age when they joined the Dal. They were like 3.5, 4 years old when they joined the Dal, and that's how they looked when they joined. They entered the Dal wearing a kashera, a kamar kasa, and had a little khanjar damala, and that's when they were given to the Dal. And the story behind them is their mother, Mata Davinder Kaur, who I've met, who's one of the greatest mothers I've ever met. And this is what I say, Sikhi is based on the mother. This mother was different level. And this is a picture also of Baba Joga Singh, Baba Kirtan Singh, Baba Gajjan Singh, Baba Gurdev Singh, and at the back's Baba Karam Singh. Baba Karam Singh, the Mahakala at the back, is still alive now. So this Babaji, so that's Baba Joga Singh, that's Sant Gurdev Singh, that's Baba Kirtan Singh, that's Baba Gajjan Singh, and that's Baba Makhan Singh, and that's Baba Karam Singh. And Baba Karam Singh was there when Babaji got the Farla, and when Baba Makhan Singh ji got the Farla, and they're still there in the Dal today, and they're very sharp. And just as they stayed with Baba Bishan Singh, they stayed with Baba Kirtan Singh, they stayed with Baba Gajjan Singh, even now they stay with Baba Joga Singh. Even Baba Joga Singh's very young, in the early 30s, Baba Karam Singh always stays with them. like old Siane Singh and the way they talk to each other is just a different, they love, like just different level. And so that's Baba Joga Singh when they entered the Dal at a very young age. And this is their mother, Mata Devinder Kaur. And what happened was when she was, they had, her Singh is named Baba Jagir Singh, and they had two sons named Sukha Singh and Matab Singh. And then they went to Baba Kirtan Singh to do ardas. Maharaj, bless us with a daughter. We want a daughter now. Tusi kirpa karo. And then Baba Kirtan Singh goes, nahi, fair page there. Pehla aapa apna Singh pejna, jera seva karuga. And then they sent Baba Joga Singh. Then afterwards they had a daughter, Jyoti, who lives now and is who's in there now. She's married off now and she's got her own children now. So Baba Joga Singh, when he's born, Baba Kirtan says that when he's able to stand, then for Sanu, the world do all his dekbal. And at the age of around 3, he joined the Dal. So around 3, he joined the Dal, and the Babbe look after him. You see old Babbe looking after the youngsters, and he lived his whole life in the Dal, learning Shastra Vidya, doing Gatka. That's him there with the stain gun. That's his Nana. So that's Mataji's dad, and that's her brother. And her other brother is named Maan Singh, and he's currently in jail for murking someone who did Beadbi of Guru Granth Sahib. So he's currently serving a long sentence. So that whole family, that whole is just kirpa. And Mataji had that pyar that I want to give my child to the Dal. And there's also a documentary made around this time about Mataji and about the family. And I just want to show you a snippet. This is when Joga Singh's entered the Dal at a young age. We're just going to watch it for about 3 or 4 minutes. Oh, it's not playing. You might have to teach me how to do that. I've lost the mouse. Come find the mouse.
Is it mirrored?
No.
Oh, extended. Extended. Drag it across.
Yeah. Stay here. Just big it up. And just
click space bar.
Yeah. It was just, and then it will stop.
Fine. As soon as you click space bar, it'll stop.
And that's the Baba that looks after him, washing the hair.
Hari Singh looks after yoga like a mother. This child is to become a soldier as he is. He teaches him to fight, but he also knows how to wash his hair gently.
God gave us hair, and our Guru made a rule that we must never cut it. It is a symbol of the Sikh religion, the mark of real Sikhs.
You never cut it?
No, we never cut it. For us, it's also a sign of beauty.
And is it the same for children?
Yes, we never cut the children's hair. You can always recognize a real Sikh by his hair.
And that's how they live with all the horses and stuff around them.
All Sikhs, whether they are Nihangs or not, must wear the 5 attributes of the religion. The caste, the long hair, the kirpan, the dagger, the kak, the trousers, the kanga, the comb, and the kera, the steel bracelet. On the other hand, the Nihangs are the only ones who wear a tunic. It is blue, yellow, black or white. These are the 4 symbolic colours chosen by our founder father, Gobind Singh.
That's his dad.
Yoga's real parents live near Baba Bakala. His father, Udham, is a farmer. He belongs to the lay community of the Nihangs, those who have a trade and a sedentary lifestyle. All the same, he wears his sword when he goes to the fields. Yoga's mother looks after the house where her 2 other sons and the grandmother live. When they talk about yoga, there is no hint of sadness on the mother's face. On the contrary. Was it difficult for you to give yoga to Hari Singh?
No, I was not sad at all. Yoga will spend his life in the service of God. He will lead us to Him. He will spend his life getting closer to God and will help us too to get close to Him. I'm happy to know that He's there.
We'll just go back to the thingy.
Which one do you want to put up?
Just go back to the slideshow. Current slide.
Which one is it?
This one, current slide. Yeah, ठीक है कृपा. If anyone wants to watch that full documentary, it's called Hari Singh Night of God, and it's about an hour long, showing that Baba Hari Singh's story and Baba Joga Singh's story, how he's raised there and how he starts to live within the Dal, and it's just so inspirational about how he joins, how he lives as a youngster. And it's not just him, there's another youngster, there's two kids that joined the Dal together, and they're both still there in the Dal together today. And that's a picture of them back in the day, and that's a picture of them now. With his dad still comes and stays in the Dal now and does seva. And that's the other Singh. So there's two Singhs that joined. That's one of them, Sukha Singh, and there's Joga Singh. And so there's Baba Sukha Singh now, who lives in the Dal. This picture was taken about a week ago, and day and night he does seva, and he's in charge of all the pandey. Or when you see all the sarvalo bartan, he's in charge of cleaning them and making sure they're all immaculate. And he's had that since he was a youngster. And day and night he stays there, jangi like that. And that's Babaji now as well, on the leading the mahalle. And now they're leading the mahalla and they're looking after the youngsters of the next generation. And now all the little kids in the Dal, Babaji's in charge of looking after. And that's Baba Makhan Singh, who's the Jathadar before Baba Gajjan Singh. And they stayed Jathadar for 15 years. And I had the opportunity to serve under them and with Baba Gajjan Singh. And that's why I've got so many stories. Like, due to time, I'm not going to go through. Maybe another time we'll go through more of them. But because... And one thing that Babaji said is to say what you've seen. And that's why I'm speaking about things that I've seen. That everything is not made up. It's not written down in a book. Everything is experienced and lived. And that's what they said to me. Sikhi experience karke you live. That's the true Sikhi. Not that you read the Sikhi that you live. No, you can read about seva for years. But until you go and stand by the tawa and make prashade, until you go yourself and clean pande, you don't know seva. And that's for all of us. We now have an opportunity to go out there and experience seva in the Guru Car, helping each other, and prana, prapena, and to join together in the Sangha. And it's vital that we do these things. And there's a video of Baba Nangaliji talking about Baba Gajjan Singh. Well, we'll save it for another day because it's a few minutes long. But I'm just going to go forward to show a few. One thing about Baba Gajjan Singh is they had an immense Nitnem. They would even, back in the day, they'd recite Nitnem to Baba Bishan Singh, to Baba Kirtan Singh, Sukhmani Sahib, Panj Baniya, the whole Das Granthi. And one Bani they'd read every single day was Zafarnama, the letter written by Guru Gobind Singh to Aurangzeb. That was the cause of Aurangzeb's death. And Baba Gajjan Singh had 3 copies. He had one that they'd keep in the Khajana, one that was at Baba Bagala Sahib, and that one that was at Chabbe, where they stayed sometimes, or it stayed in the car. And anytime you rode in the car with them, they'd sit in the car and straight away they'd do the Poti Prakash and start reading. If they're not reading, they would do no other gal. They'd do Simran, sometimes in the car for 3 hours, and they're reading Zafarnama, or it's Satnam Vaheguru, Satnam Vaheguru. They would do no other fault to Allah. And they were very much about Naam, Simran and Abhyas. And one thing they always said is, like, there's a Sakhi related to Guru Angad Dev Ji and Rera Sahib, had the importance of Rera Sahib. And they always said that for Rehra Sahib, jo marji ho jawe, be in the darbar for Rehra Sahib. And sometimes I see in camps here, like people say, oh, Rehra's khech ke sheti kar lo, then we could do the talk, and we could do this and we do that. No, the main event of the evening is the Rehra Sahib. There's nothing bigger than Guru Sahib's Rehra Sahib verse in the evening. And I hear them giving them bachan to another Singh, someone told Baba Gajjan Singh this Singh, he never sits in Rehra Sahib, he always goes out doing other jobs during this time.
ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਣਾ ਨਾ ਕਰਦਾ ਰਹਿ ਰਾਤ ਦਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਬੰਦਾ ਸੱਚਖੰਡ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਚਲੇ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਵਾ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਸੱਚਖੰਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਜਿਹਨੇ ਰਹਿ ਰਾਤ ਇੱਥੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੁਣੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਧੱਕੇ ਮਾਰ ਕੇ ਕੱਢ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਬਾਹਰ ਤੇ ਤੂੰ ਚੱਲ ਰਹਿ ਰਾਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਰਹਿ ਇੱਥੇ ਰਹਿ ਰਾਤ ਦੇ ਟਾਈਮ.
That's the importance of Rehras, that it gives you a place in Sachkhand, and they'd always be strict. Sare Singh Rehras Sajo. And in the morning, Asa Diwar, they'd even go around the dal sometimes with the stick, finding all the kids that are sleeping and hiding to take them into the darbar and to sit and listen to the Rehras. And some Singhs say, oh, we were tired, we'd hide behind the trucks of the lorries, and Babaji would find us and take us into the darbar, and they'd be very strict with us. But that strictness saved us and made us who we are today. And Babaji themselves, they're up at 12 o'clock, they wake up and have ishnan, cold water. And if the sevadars come with the chola, a new chola, they'd put the new chola on. If not, they'd just wash that old chola and put that same on. And I've seen them sometimes sitting with the chola, blue chola, soaked wet in winter because someone never came on time with the chola, so they just washed that chola and sat, because they're going to wash the chola, wash the chola every day, and they just sit there, wouldn't ask, wouldn't know, it just different level. All they cared about was just their name, making sure their Nitnem Bani's on point. They had that love for Guru Sahib. That's pictures of Babaji when they got the star bandi, when the whole pantha came together. And when you see them at the same time, when you see Baba Gajjan Singh sitting, and then you see Baba Joga Singh sitting, it feels, that spirit feels the same, and that energy is the same. And when I watch sitting back, because I've seen it from different Mahapurush, everything has remained the same in that same way. And one thing Babaji said is to tell them about our mothers as well. And this is the Jathadarni of the Langar. Of all the Bibbiyan, she's the head of the Langar. And her sons are all Tyar Pratyar. And she, when needs be, she'll get all the Bibbiya together and they do all the Langar Prashad Seva. And she wouldn't want me to film her. She'd get very angry. So I kind of put my phone in my camera this time. And I just filmed her a little bit when she came to get a drink, when she was having a break from Seva.
ਪਕਾਈ ਜਾਣੀਆਂ ਵਰਤਾਈ ਜਾਣੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੀ ਪਹਿਰਾ ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰਖਾਂ ਦਾ ਦਿੱਤਿਆ ਉਹ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਣੀਆਂ ਜੇ ਕਿਤੇ ਗਰਾਈ ਇਕੱਠਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਵੇ ਦੁੱਧ ਦੀ ਗਰਾਈ ਮੰਨਿਆ ਦੇ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਕਰਦਾ ਰਹੇ
ਕਿੰਨੇ ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੂੰ
ਪਿੱਛੇ ਕਰਦੇ 55 ਸਾਲ 70 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਉਮਰ 72 ਦੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਛੋਟੀ ਜੀ ਮੇਰਾ
ਅੱਛਾ ਤੇ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰਸ਼ਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਸੰਗਤ ਕੀਤੀ
ਸੰਤ ਬਾਬਾ ਸੋਹਣ ਸੋਂ ਬਾਬਾ ਦਇਆ ਹੋਂ ਬਾਬਾ ਸੰਤਾ ਹੋਂ ਬਾਬਾ ਬਿਸ਼ਨ ਸੋਂ ਬਾਬਾ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਗਿਆਨੀ ਬਾਬਾ ਮੱਖਣ ਸਿੰਘ ਬਾਬਾ ਗੱਜਣ ਸਿੰਘ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੋਗਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਸਾਧੂਆਂ ਦਾ ਬਾਬਾ ਸੀਸਾ ਉਹ ਇੱਥੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ ਸਭ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਇਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੋਗਾ ਹੋ ਬਾਬਾ ਗੁਰਦੇਵ ਸਿੰਘ ਬਾਬਾ ਬਿਰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਭ ਨੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਇਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਘਰ ਬਣ ਜੰਮਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਮਝ ਕੇ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੀ ਇਦਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਘਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਜੁਗਤੀਆਂ ਮੁਕਤੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ
ਕਿਹੜੇ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਜੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਕੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ
ਸੇਵਾ ਜੇ ਦਾਲ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਪਿਆ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਡਿਆ ਬਣਾ ਚੌਲ ਬਣਾਉਣੇ ਪਏ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਬਣਾਉਣੇ ਆ ਕੱਪੜੇ ਬਣਾਉਣੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਡਿਆ ਬਣਾਵਾ ਜੇ ਲੀੜਾ ਕੱਪੜਾ ਧੋਣਾ ਰਜਾਈਆਂ ਬਿਸਤਰੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਸੀ ਸਵਾਰ ਫਿਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ 100 ਕਮਾਈ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਈਆਂ ਵਾ ਇਦਾਂ ਸਾਰੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਜੇ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਕੰਮ ਪਾਇਆ ਮਈਆਂ ਚੋਣ ਦਾ ਪੁੱਛਾ ਦੱਸਾ ਵੀ ਪਾਉਣ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੀ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਲੈ ਇੱਕ ਲੈਣੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਸਾਰੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. And just the energy these Matawa carry, just it makes you feel like doing seva. When they're doing seva, they're old and they're bajurg, and then raat they're at the tawa, then raat they're washing kapre, washing chadra, and they're running to do seva when Babaji's, and then they come running to Babaji to say, ah sabji banani aap, ah magawim. It just is so infectious, and that spreads amongst all the bibya. All of them that are doing seva, they're like, you could see on their chehra, like even that Mata's face, you could see on the chehra that noori of just day, night, kamai and seva. And koi vaddu gal nikalni kisna larna nahi, they just in love with what they're doing. And then the relationship that they have with all the Singhs is just mad as well. Because the Singhs will go, Mata ji, and then just, the love is just infectious. Oh man, it's so good. And there's just a small video of some of the seva. And quantal 100 kg of atta that they're going together, and day and night they don't want to stop. They have to be told, Baskaro, rest, because they have that jar to serve the Panth, they have that much jar to serve the Sangat. And when you go and see it, like, you're like, wow, like, no wonder their children and four would have been warriors and everything. And they man the Guru Sahib's bachan, whatever comes. And in the langar, they don't allow gas or anything like that. All the langar is by firewood only. It's all only no chemicals, nothing. The prasad there, the kanak, is bought from their own fields. Like, they look out. And here's some images of the younger Singhs that live in the dal. Like, they look after the horses. They will explain to you that seva does.
सेवा करी दी है ते घोड़े दी घाट था पाई दा ते हाथ बड़ी दा
ठीक
है चार बार तैयार रही दा तो वाला सेवा.
And they're just talking about, I do this, I look after the horses, I do this. And if you see the chole don't fit, whatever chole they get, they wear with the shonk, and you see them, their attitude, like that Singh fell off a horse on the mahalla and he ripped his cheek up. And when I seen him, I thought, oh man, he's going to cry or something. And I went to hug him, and when he went to hug him, he pushed me, oh, karta ki hoye? Guru di kirpa. And then he just walked up and he had a ripped up cheek, and then the Jathadar like gave him money and sent to Singh with him to get him fixed up. But they have this as like never say. One of the days, one of the Singhs fought with another one of the Singhs, and it was an older Singh, like 14, 15, got annoyed by another Singh that was with this Singh, and the older Singh punched him in the chest, as boys do. Boys will be boys, they fight each other, and he punched him in the chest, and the youngster started crying, and he came by where we were sitting, and he was crying, and one of this, there's an old Hajuri Singh, that's an Nihang Singh, he grabbed him by his shoulder and he sat him close. He said, Oi, Kade vi nahi rona. Kise de samne kade nahi rona. Never cry in front of anyone. He goes, Pame ro andar rakh. He goes, keep it inside. Sirf te sirf Guru Gobind Singh age rona, hor kise de age rona nahi appa. And I know people nowadays go, oh my God, that's so harsh, but this is how they build that spirit within them. He goes, you only cry in front of the Guru. You don't cry in front of anyone else. You don't put your hands out like that in front of anyone else. You don't beg in front of anyone else. You're not lesser in front of anyone else. Only in front of the Guru, because Guru Sahib is everything for us. And that spirit they put in the kids, and you see it when these kids walk around. Day and night they walk around like kings of the Mela. They enjoy it all. They have the best life. They're not going to have many things that people have here, but they have a life different. They're like free. They're free from the attachments, and they grow, just the Guru's Pana that they grow up at that time. But they have a lot of fun, and they do a lot of masti as well. Like that Singh, he got grabbed by the police. And this is a video that someone's made of him at the Mahalla getting grabbed by police. Oh, is it paused? Oh, I think it's paused, it's not working, is it? So basically he had a little pistol on him, and he was going around shooting it up in the air like an air rifle type pistol, and then the police grabbed him, and I was just watching from far, and the Singhs were watching, like, and they go, don't rescue him, let's see how he gets out of it. And he's there arguing with the police and giving it back to him. And then the police just at the end of giving him a thapra and go chat, like, and just the way they get into they have so many adventures and stuff, but at the same time the respect and love they show, the way they look after each other. When one of them's really hurt, the way they all come together to support each other, it's something that we won't experience. And this is the type of thing that they do in their free time. This is another dal, Guru Nanak dal. They're just vibing at night, and this is what they do.
ਵੀਰ ਰਸ ਚ ਤੁਰੇ ਦੋਵੇਂ ਰੰਗੇ ਦੀ ਵੇ ਵਿਛਵਾ ਵੱਲ ਹੱਸਦੇ ਪਤੰਗੇ ਦੀ ਤੇ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਕਮਾ ਚੱਲੀਏ ਉਹ ਗਰਜਾ ਸਿੰਗਾਰੇ ਦੇ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਰੱਖਣੀ ਸ਼ਹੀਦੀਆਂ ਪਪਾ ਚੱਲੀਏ
that it's just crazy. And this is one of the videos I just wanted to write because it just looks sick of Baba Ji in the Mahalla. And then just finishing, even the youngsters in the Dal, they do the mastiyan, they mess around, but they're very learned as well. They're very young, but at a young age they can all do part, they can all do katha, they can all cook prashada, they can all cook dal better than most of our mums. And they're young, they're like less than 8 years old. And there's a picture of this Singh here, and his story is, when he joined the Dal, he met Mahapurush. He's from a Hindu family, his dad's a pujari in a mandir. He met Mahapurush for the first time, and he goes, I want to stay here. And then within a week, he kept his case. Within a month, he took Amrit. And now 4 or 5 years in, he's a Nishanji of the Dal. And his family's like, go wherever you fall in and find a Rab, go there, Rab no labbo. And I put this in just as a treat, that in the Dal, there's a lot of things that they'll never experience, that we experience and take part of normal. They're very strict with Becky, so they don't eat from outside. But they've heard of pizza and what pizza is, so the kids kind of wanted pizza one day. So he explained to them how to make it. And then all these little young Singhs, they all made pizza within the Dal, without no cheese, with the atta base, with the tomato and pizza. But it was the best pizza I've ever had. And it just, the way they're sharing it with each other. And one of the Singhs went there and they were like so adamant, no, keep his vartara. Kalno Najna, keep his vartara. And they had such love. And they have these experiences with each other there. And I just want to finish now. This is the final slide. And obviously we started with the importance of Guru Sahib. We went through all the Mahapurush. And now we want to finish with something that really stuck to me from the life of Baba Gajjan Singh, and that was the importance of Gurbani. And this is the Zafarnama. This is the first chapter of Zafarnama. It's only two minutes long, and I want to, as we finish, I just want to close your eyes and just vibe. Close your eyes, just think of Guru Gobind Singh and listen to that the first chapter of Zafarnama. Afterwards, we'll do a Jakara and we'll finish. And if afterwards anyone wants to ask questions or talk, we could do that. But let's just vibe to the Bani of Guru Gobind Singh, which through all my time with the Mahapurush and with all they've said is connect with Guru, connect with the Shabad. That is everything.
एक ओंकार हुकम सत श्री वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। जफरनाम है श्री मोखवाक पातशाही 10वीं। कमाले करामात कायम करीम, रजा बख्श राज ग्रहा को रहीम। अमा बख्श बख्शिंद ओ दस्तगीर, रजा बख्श रोजी देहो दिल पजीर। शहनशाह खूबी देहो रहनुमू, के बेगुन बेचून चूबे नमू। ना साजो ना बाजो ना फौजो ना फर्श, खुदावंद बख्शिंद ओ ऐश अर्श। जहाँ पाक जबरदस्त ज़ाहर ज़हूर, अता में दे हद हम जो हाज़र हजूर। अता बख्श दो पाक परवरदिगार, रही मस्त रोजी देहो हर दयार। के साहिब दिया रस्त आजम अजीम, के हुस्न जमालस्त राज़क रहीम। के साहिब शऊरस्त आजिज़ निवाज, गरीब परस्तो गनीम गुदार। शरीयत परस्तो फजीलत मआब, हकीकत शनासो नबीउल किताब। के दानिश पे हो अस्त साहिब शऊर, शनासस्त ज़ाहर नबीउल किताब। के दानिश पे हो अस्त साहिब शऊर, हकीकत शनासस्त ज़ाहर ज़हूर। शना सिंधाए इल्म आलम खुदाए कुसाइंदाए कार आलम कुशाए गुजारिंदाए कार आलम कबीर शना सिंधाए इल्म आलम अमीर शना सिंधाए इल्म आलम खुदाए कुसाइंदाए कार आलम कुशाए गुजारिंदाए कार आलम कबीर शनासिंदाए इल्म आलम अमीर शनासिंदाए इल्म आलम अमीर
हर बलावे फतेह पावे निहाल हो जावे बाबा दीप सिंह साहिब जी दे मनो पावे सत श्री अकाल गुरबरे अकाल देख तेग फतेह गुरु खालसा पंथ हर मैदान फतेह वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह I've just scratched the surface of what it is for Mr. Shida Tarnadal. It's a very short notice planned talk just because I was ill and away. But if there's any shortcoming, it's on me. These people are just different level. And I do benti, go and see for yourself. Go and experience yourself. Go to Sachkhand, Hajur Sahib. Visit these places, but connect. If you've taken something away that will connect you with Sikhi and build any faith in you, we've passed. If not, tell Baba and say, this guy failed. Don't call him again. We don't need that. All right, we need to build each other. We need the best, most positive things possible. Bol chuk maaf karna. Vaheguru ji ka khalsa, Vaheguru ji ki fateh.